After the first setup, which we're going to do separately, I've already done that with you, and you have it set up so that you have Premiere Pro in the Creative Cloud to work with, we're going to go to the basics of how to log in daily. So when we're doing our normal like login to Premiere Pro, what you do first is log in to the Launchpad. So you would log into your Launchpad and open up your Google Drive. So I've got both of those already open. And then what we're going to do is come down, you can go to the search bar, and we're going to type in Premiere Pro, and you'll see the icon show up for the app. This right here is what you would open. I have mine saved down at the bottom. You're not going to do that, but you would click on this. And it is going to take a bit for that to open. X out of that. And so once your screen opens, you're going to see something that's similar to this. You might have some tutorials that's come up pretty quickly on your screen to try and walk you through those. And those are very informative. You can do those at any time. But for now, we're going to go over to the side where it says New Project. If you were going to come in and work on an existing class project, you could do Open Project and then open from that list. But since you're just starting, we'll go to New Project and click on that. And when you do that and open the new project, you're going to see a screen that kind of looks like this one. And this is how you set up any of your new projects. The first thing it's going to ask for, obviously on this side, you're going to see it's highlighted blue, is to, hey, let's give the project a name. And so for our first project, we're going to do a skill builder. So you could do editing skill builder number 2. And this is, of course, Premiere Pro. And then it's going to ask for the location where you want it saved. You are going to have yours saved in your Google Drive. That's really important. We don't save things on the school laptops. When you click here, it's going to give me some options. I have Google Drive location and I have my desktop location. I'm going to be using my desktop location, but you would use your Drive location. When you do your Drive location, you're going to see that, hey, folders that look similar to these earlier I saved this on Google Drive, and so the folders are still listed that are right here. And you would open your video production folder and go inside of that to your sequencing. You can put this skill builder inside of your sequencing film because that's the one that we're doing this with, and go from there. But I'm going to save mine this time here. And so after I do that, the next thing that you're going to have some options with, you're going to see in the center it says select media to create new project. I wait and do that. I do that after I create the project. If you clicked on media, you could go into your folder and click on media immediately. It will import it automatically into your timeline, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to go over to create. Once you click your create button, you have to give it a minute. And then you're going to see, hey, this is a window that pops up. And the first thing I want to point out to you is that the window that you see here might look a little different on your notes and steps sheet that Ms. T gave you to go along with this. And that's because there are different workspace formats. And for the first one, to kind of explain the parts, I want to go to make sure that we're in the editing one. I also really like the color workspace, which will change it up. Let's just let you see what that looks like. So when you open the color workspace, you'll notice the configuration for the bars change. Once we have actual clips in, things will look even more different. The other one I really like a lot is to reset to saved layout. And when you do that, you're going to see that there are even more kind of bars and breakdowns that show up. But since a lot of the tutorials that you will be looking at are based on the editing format, we're going to just intro with it in this edit one and then change as we need to. So the first thing I kind of want to point out is that, hey, when you look at these different sections of your workspace station, there are 4 basic quadrants that are really important. The first one over here, this is called the source monitor. And this is basically what we'll be able to see the clips as you highlight on them from what we call the media browser. That's what this area is called. And when you look at the media browser, you're going to see that there are all some very important little icons at the bottom that we can change up the way we view our clips, which I'll be showing you in a few minutes. I really like having icon view so that you can see the clips. When we scroll over here, we can go in and create new bins. This is going to be a really important button because we want to organize our clips as we insert them. The other thing you can do, this is where we would add new items, like, for example, if we wanted to do a layer to edit all of our clips at one time, we could do that. Next to that, you're going to see this is our tool bar, our tool panel. You can see this is the default selection tool that we use when we're working. Each of these tools, like the ripple edit effect, the razor tool, we're going to talk about later as we go. Slip tool, pen tool, and of course the hand tool and the text tool. Over on this side, beside of our tool lineup, we're going to have our timeline sequence. And this will be similar to what you learned with WeVideo and any editing program, really. They have a timeline on it, which you will see the sequence of your clips. Above that, you're going to have the program monitor. And basically in the program monitor, you'll be able to see the clips as we have things, the playhead go through our timeline, we will see those things in our program monitor. On the side over here on the right, you're going to see that we have our sound meter, audio meter that we can see. And then there's obviously workspace options. This is, of course, our color panel, Lumetri Color, so that we can do edit, corrections, and do color effects. Okay. So it's kind of unending learning this program. It's going to take a long time for you to learn it really well. But importing media is the first thing you'll want to do. Several ways that we can do it. Obviously, you want to start out by having the media that you're going to be uploading organized in your Google Drive. That's really important so that you can find things that you need and organize it in the right manner. There are tons of ways to do this, as I said. So we can, obviously, if you do a right click, you can do it. An easy way is just go to import, and it's going to automatically kind of try to find out where to get your materials. It has a memory, so it will take you to where you told it to save things or collect things. So I can do it this way. If I go to import, it's going to take it directly from my drive. If you're using your own computer, it would go to the folder where you saved it on. So if I put a clip in this way, it's one clip. It's going to go directly into this area, our work area. You can create first what are called bins or folders and insert your media directly into those folders. For this demo, we're going to keep it really simple though. So if I take a clip this way, I can make edits. Another way that I can import, which would automatically put things into my timeline, which I'm going to show you in just a moment, is to use our big import button up here. But first, let's chat about what we can do with a clip once it's here. If you double click on your clip, it's going to show up in your source monitor. And if we take a look at our source monitor, you can see that as I push play and the playhead goes through this, I could actually do some editing in this stage. If I stop it here, let's say that that's the section I wanted to start with, I could do something called a mark in or just I on your keyboard. But if I click that, that's going to automatically clip off some of that clip and trim it in the source window. It does not affect it down in your media browser, but up in the source window, it will clip it. And then let's say that I continue to play it and decide where I want to clip it on the out part, on the end of it. Maybe I want to shorten the clip right there maybe. And then I could do my mark out. And so it automatically shortens the clip, and then I could take it and I can drag this right into my timeline. This is something that I think is really interesting about Premiere. You can drag just the video if you like, or you could drag only the audio into the timeline. But we're going to just take the whole thing and drag it down. And once we let it go, it's going to automatically insert it into our timeline. Okay, which I think is pretty cool. The other thing that you can do from here, we could now click on it and make additional edits. You could highlight it here. Once you highlight it in your timeline, you're going to see that it's in the program window. We can do the same kind of mark in, mark out from here. Let's get some more media and put in and do some additional things like trimming, some other ways to do trimming. So we've learned about, hey, how to do it in here in the source window. Let's get a few more pieces of media. When mine opens, it's going to automatically go into where I have my media stored that I've told the computer. So maybe I'm going to choose a couple more clips. Maybe I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do this one. I'm going to come in and do this one so I can talk to you about color stuff in a little bit. And then when I go import, and when I do that, you're going to see, hey, nothing happens at first. When you look, you don't see it over here, but what we do, if we look carefully, you can see that it's imported those clips right into our timeline. And they import it in the timeline in the order that you click it. So a lot of students like to just go to the big import key to begin with and then select the order of your clips. When you do that, though, it's the full version of the clip, meaning that each clip has not been edited like we did in the source key.